world famous and director, Dr. Nicole Roebuck, director of bands, Dr. Michael Hendricks, Dr. Edwin Thomas, Mr. Kevin Naylor, Jonathan Neal, Michael Price, Sheba Swallows, Linda Songs, Erica Sims, Shaniqua Ismail. Let's go.
Presented by Allstate.
Yo, come here. They coming.
For the world's greatest athletes, there is nothing like competing on the world's biggest stage.
Who's gonna win gold? It's a world record again!
And when that stage is here, anything is possible.
I have never seen anything like this. How about that?
An Olympics unlike any other. NBC's coverage of the Paris Olympics is brought to you by Salesforce.
Tis the season to show you care. Join WSFA 12 News and Dixie Electric Cooperative Friday, December 1st from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Renfro's Market on East Chase Parkway for 12's Day of Giving. We'll be collecting food, money, and toys for these wonderful organizations. Drive up to Renfro's Market at East Chase and one of our volunteers will safely assist you. Help us share the spirit of the season December 1st for 12's Day of Giving. Visit WSFA.com for more information. Sponsored by Auburn University of Montgomery, Wind Creek, Montgomery, and Wind Creek, Wetumpka.
'Tis the season when money is tight, but you could get up to $10,000 using your car title.
I got $2,800 with my car title from Title Max.
Skip the holiday bustle, get money in as little as 30 minutes.
I got $8,700 with my car title from Title Max.
And best of all, keep driving your vehicle while getting the cash you need. All makes and models welcome. Visit TitleMax.com today to get started, and you'll say, I got my title back with Title Max.
Get your title back with Title Max.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of it in a new Honda. Whether it's taking the gang to the slopes in an available all-wheel drive Pilot, delivering presents in a rugged Passport, or hauling a few toys for yourself in a powerful Ridgeline. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Get your first alert road report from WSFA 12 News.
Well, the bands, they certainly brought it. In the 50th annual Bayou Classic, Southern and Grambling. Southern 21, Grambling State 7. Take a look at the B&G first half stats. Really, the swing play was late in the first half. A blocked field goal return for a touchdown. You look at the numbers, there's not much separation. You get one big play like that on special teams, that's your difference.
Grambling State has had more often drives that have been sustained throughout the first half of the game. They haven't been able to finish their drive since the opening one with points on the board. That's where, once they approach that red zone, Grambling State has to be better.
Well, Southern is the team in the lead, but we're all winners because we got to witness the Battle of the Bands at halftime. Second half from the Caesars Superdome next.
Inez, let me ask you. You're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right, you know.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head & Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes that big.
Microbes? Really?
They're always on your scalp, little rascals. But good news, there's no itchiness, dryness, or flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy and his tiny, gorgeous hair.
He's the best.
Make every wash count. Little help, please?
That grimy film on your teeth.
Dr. G?
It's actually the buildup of plaque bacteria, which can cause cavities.
Most toothpaste quit working in minutes, but Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects all day.
It stops cavities before they start.
Crest.
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Mom! Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
When you smell the amazing scent of Gain Flings, time stops. And you realize you're in love.
Steve!
With a laundry detergent. Gain Flings, seriously good scent.
This Black Friday, get Peacock for
$1.99.
That's right, just
$1.99.
for only
$1.99.
Get Peacock for only $1.99 a month for 12 months. Limited time offer, terms apply.
This is the one game they dream of being a part of more than any other. You feel the history? You move by the tradition? Are you ready for more? The second half of the 50th Bayou Classic is next.
We've had everything you could want so far. As Common mentioned, big plays on top of all that. Caesar Superdome for the second half of the 50th annual Bayou Classic. With former defensive lineman in the NFL, Anthony Herron, I'm Chris Lewis, Corey Robinson, Lewis Johnson on the sideline. Since 1991, the Bayou Classic has been on NBC. Grambling won the toss. They chose to receive on their opening possession and struggling to receive Southern at a halftime. It's one of the returners, but it does get up to C.J. Russell to the 21-yard line. Let's check in with Corey Robinson on the sideline.
Thanks, Chris. So I got a chance to talk to Coach Hugh Jackson right after halftime, and he told me, look, the biggest thing we got to overcome was that blocked field goal at half. I asked about the team morale, and he said, look, we're totally fine, not worried about it. They played the first half without number 71, Melvin Priestley, on the offensive line. He said now he's not worried whatsoever about the offensive line with the tackles for loss. He's back in the game. Lewis?
Corey, thanks so much. So Terrence Graves is so excited about the way they played in the first half, but coming out of the locker room, he said the number one thing that they have to do this half is play great run defense. He says he knows that Grambling is not going to come out here and lay down. There's so much time left on the clock, and they'll try to find a way to get back in, and most likely with the run play. So great, sound run defense is what he's looking for here in the second half.
And Lewis, there really wasn't too much separation between the teams outside of that big turning point on special teams. To end the first half, a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. Darren Morris catches the pass from Noah Bowden on first down. So Bowden, his first Southern start, Anthony, what do you think of him in the first half?
Impressed with the control, the anticipation that he threw the football with. Seems to be in command of things on the field to the point where they're willing to go tempo.
That tempo's a handoff to Rhymes like a track meet. 20-yard line, stumbles a bit, but that doesn't matter. One explosive run by Kendrick Rhymes of 73 yards. The home run hitter is firing on all cylinders.
What a way for Southern to exit the locker room. So many bodies near the line of scrimmage for Grambling State. And Lewis Matthews has been their do-it-all guy at the second level. So it went with a three-man front. Once they block Matthews, though, there is no safety support. The run game for the Jaguars was non-existent in the first half. Here opening up half number 2, Kendrick Rhymes takes it the distance.
Kendrick Rhymes, second touchdown. And the extra point is blocked. So each team gets a block kick in this game. So a block extra point, which keeps it at a 20-point game, but Southern still has the good feelings coming out of halftime. Kendrick Rhymes running for days, and Southern in control.
Some people just know that's not going to fit. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
That's not going to fit.
What's that?
You need another 4 inches.
Do you work here?
Nope. I just saw you there, and I thought I'd save you the trouble.
Nana,
She's a human measuring tape, and she knows Allstate is the right fit for her.
It's not gonna fit. That's not gonna fit.
What?
Steven.
Some people just know.
Well played. Well played, my friend.
Those are the people who know you're in good hands with Allstate.
Your bathroom needs Febreze Small Spaces, the always-on odor-fighting air freshener you set and forget. No outlets used, no batteries needed, no effort required. So your bathroom stays continuously fresh for 45 days. That's the power of Febreze Small Spaces.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next-generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The walking tree is said to change its entire location in pursuit of sunlight. Where could reinvention take your business? Accenture. Let there be change.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Don't tell me. Show me proof it works for my skin. Olay Vitamin C shows me the glow all day long. It diminishes dark spots and gives me this radiant, glowing, even tone in just 1 week. My glow is proof.
Well, Kendrick Grimes, his first carry of the second half, goes for 73 yards to the house.
Well, Willie Totten, offensive coordinator now for Southern, he knows that the safeties have been reacting laterally. That 2-by-2 formation, it's been a screen pass every time, but not this time. Both safeties went towards the outside. That's why there was no middle support for that Grambling State defense. Excellent play call, well executed up front. Kendrick Grimes with the 73-yard house call.
The biggest play of the game for the Southern offense. Now up by 20. 25-yard line for Grambling to begin their first drive of half number 2.
So for Grambling State, a 3-score deficit at this point, yes, you certainly need points. I don't think they need to get reckless with the football, though. But you do need to set up some shot play opportunities. The chunk plays, the big plays in all phases have gone advantage Southern. But Grambling has sustained drives over and over again when they've gotten near the end zone. They haven't been able to punctuate those drives with points. So I do believe you can keep a methodical approach, but find ways to, just as Southern did on their offensive series, use formation to set up chunk play opportunities.
Well, Corey's report at halftime said the Grambling side, their vibes were still good, still feeling good about the position they were in. But after that touchdown now, have a bigger hole and whistles before this first down play.
Ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That is Melvin Priestley.
One of their leaders up front, really talented. Young football player, loves to finish blocks in the run phase. Got out of his stance just a bit too quickly there as the football was getting snapped in a loud arena when you have a talented edge rusher across from you. A lot of times now in modern football, they'll let the offensive tackle kind of get out of his stance just a hair quicker.
I was going to mention, that looked a lot like Lane Johnson. Never call that. 1st and 15. Chalk gets outside, shows off the elusive skills, won't go down. 35. Maneuvers opposite side. A lot of running. Ran about 30 yards to pick up 16. So they'll call it 19, Anthony.
We use the term contact balance, Chris. This is the look at what it means. Some backs are just really powerful, running through contact. You look at Floyd Chalk run the football, though. It's hard to get him to actually finish on the ground with the run because of the way he's able to regain his momentum and then quickly become a ball carrier again.
Timeout called.
For the snap. Timeout, Southern. Should be a 30-second timeout.
So Southern takes their first. As Floyd Chalk, those quick feet.
The dexterity that it takes to have someone trying to rip you down towards the ground, the entire body of Jordan Carter dangling from Floyd Chalk. Was able to still finish that run with a guy draped around his neck, maintain his balance, and then immediately get back into ball carrier mode.
Not many people can escape the grasp of Carter. You take a look at what Chalk has done at the Bayou Classic the last 2 years. Those yards per carry, just jaw-dropping.
He certainly shows up to the big stage ready to perform on an annual basis.
Won the MVP for Grambling in last year's Bayou Classic. Trying to lead his team from behind. Down 27-7. Robinson in motion, 1st and 10. Backpedaling, Chalk. He throws it out of bounds. So it's interesting there. You automatically, when somebody throws it away, you think of the intentional grounding rules. But it's usually not a running back who's throwing it away, and then they throw the flag late for intentional grounding.
Well, he receives the football within the tackle box, runs backwards, but the tackle box extends back toward the opposing goal line. He continues to run backwards after he gets the football. Now, as a quarterback, they'll give you a little bit of latitude with the tackle box.
2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Legal man downfield, offense number 71. That penalty is declined. Intentional grounding, offense number 3. It was not the original person that gathered the snap. Cannot throw the ball away unless there's a receiver in the area. That is a spot foul. Down is consumed. 2nd down.
I haven't really heard the intentional grounding rules for a running back passer too often.
That does extend the rule book a bit, just to make sure everyone's on top of things. A good explanation there from our white hat in the ball game. And normally, especially as a quarterback, they'll allow it if you're at least near the edge, not the same latitude given to a running back here in this scenario.
They have to have a receiver nearby if it's a running back who's passing it. Robinson swallowed up quickly. Derek Williams, first there, 3rd, and a marathon for Grambling.
That's what their best play so far has been, the screen game and the run after catch. But now you see Southern reacting to that better and better. And Lyndon Rash, like we saw in the first half, he was limping around a bit during the first half of the game on the sideline. He has not been back into the lineup to impact things since then.
3rd and 20. Against a 4-man rush, a draw doesn't work. Kelby Gibbons saw that immediately. Loss of 3.
Exceptional pad level. And Kelby Gibbons, the energy that he plays the game with. He's going to start up on the edge of the screen there. And just on the game, working inside, you see the impact that he has working back downhill towards the ball carrier. What was a pass rush stunt becomes a run stunt off the handoff, and Gibbons finishes that tackle.
So a penalty was the inauspicious start to the drive for Grambling. They go backwards. Isles punts, just gets it off, but it's a good one. Whitfield from the 22 loses the ball, gets it back. Fortunate bounce off the Superdome turf to save possession. 49-yard punt. Southern right now in control. Ground game going strong and getting all the fortunate bounces too.
Did you know most dish soaps don't remove all the grease, even with scrubbing?
What? I just cleaned those.
Try Dawn Platinum. It removes 99% of grease and food residue. That's why Dawn is trusted to save wildlife affected by oil. Dawn Platinum cleans to the squeak.
Knock, knock. Number one broker here for the number one hit maker.
Thanks for swinging by, Carl.
No problem. So what are all those for?
This lets me adjust the bass, add more guitar, maybe some drums.
Wow, so many choices.
Yeah, like Schwab. I can get full-service wealth management, advice, invest on my own, and trade on Thinkorswim.
You know Carl is the only front man you need.
Oh, I gotta take this, Carl. It's Schwab.
Have a choice in how you invest with Schwab.
Lowe's knows you've been waiting all year for these holiday deals. That's why we've made Black Friday bigger and better with Golden Gable deals. For 1 week, discover the best savings of the year for your home.
Around ADHD, there's tremendous ignorance. Most people are not aware of the positives.
Can't sit still, disorganized, can't focus, lazy, stupid.
You can't make it. You never listen, you don't clean your room.
And a space
It's a super skill set.
You're slipping. Haven't quite been yourself.
You're hiding something. I need the truth.
You're being reckless.
I won't out. I need to talk to you about a confession.
Found Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
The 50th annual Bayou Classic on NBC is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. Last night's Battle of the Bands and Greek Step Show at the Superdome. We never really do hear who wins. I think it's up to the beholder there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of like the claimed national championships.
First down throw to the near side did hit the ground before it gets into the hands of Colby Washington. Let's check in with Lewis.
You guys were asking about who won the step show last night?
Yeah, who was that?
Cap Alpha Psi won that step show, of course.
Well, you sound really confident about that.
Absolutely confident, even though I wasn't there.
You were there in spirit, though, right?
Absolutely. That's a no-brainer.
No question about it. Always get the W's.
Yet another claimed step show championship for Kappa Alpha Psi.
Put the banner up. Southern has scored 27 unanswered points. Bowden through the hands on the crossing route and incomplete, so it brings up third down.
It's a big third and long here for Grambling State. We haven't said the name Sundiata Anderson in quite a while, since earlier in the game as a pass rusher and a run defender. Third and long here. Not only do you need to get off the field, but it's an opportunity in a predictable down and distance to have your playmaker get after the pocket, see if you can even force a takeaway to give your opponent some field position.
Southern 3 for 5 on third downs. Roll out for Bowden. Pump fakes, gets rid of it. Dangerous pass. It's incomplete, out of bounds. Donald Lee was the closest player there for Grambling, and it's fourth down.
I do like the game plan that Willie Totten is running here, though. You see the pocket, the launch point constantly on the move. That time an example of how frequently they've rolled away from Sonny Anderson and made sure that tight ends and running backs are there to give additional help to their offensive tackles. So the game plan, as tends to be the case with players as talented, and there's a look at Willie Totten up there, former great black college quarterback, teammate of Jerry Rice, now the offensive play caller, where the previous coach Eric Dooley also called the play. So now Willie Totten over the last couple of weeks has been thrust into that play caller role for Terrence Graves.
And Mississippi Valley State legend mentioned teammate Jerry Rice. Beauplans punt. Over the head and takes a roll inside the 10. And Southern down it at the 5. So a long way to go for Grambling. It's a punt of 63 yards for Robbins Beauplan. Well, we mentioned Willie Totten. He had a pretty good target at Mississippi Valley State. Jerry Rice, early 80s. Talk about an explosive offense.
Oh, man, and an explosive arm to be able to throw it to the all-time great back at the collegiate level. Willie Totten feed it down the field. Just saw the deep strike ability, the accuracy, setting up the run after catch to the GOAT.
Totten's been the head coach at Mississippi Valley State. See it right there. 02 to 09. First ties back to Grambling as a grad assistant back in 88. So one of many familiar with both sides here. Right now it's Grambling State's offense that needs something. Down by 20. First down from the 5. Low throw over the middle. Incomplete pass. With Lyndon Rash back in. He was the intended receiver. Rodney Johnson, he was in coverage.
And Lyndon Rash still moving gingerly as he approaches the sideline there. You really respect a guy and his desire to be back out there with his team, but he just doesn't look like himself.
He's battled injuries throughout his career. Started back in 2017, playing in his 4th Bayou Classic. He wants to make a statement at the Superdome, trying to battle through it. 2nd and 10. Chance Williams jukes outside, slithers, first down. Jordan Carter brings him down. Chance Williams on his birthday, his 20th birthday. His family wanted to make sure he got a birthday shout out.
And even with the penetration into the backfield, Williams able to find the lane that he can cut it back against the grain with to advance the football. But that's where you need receivers, tight ends, your teammates in the open field, picking up second level blocks so the football continues to advance.
There's an injured player on the southern side, already assisted back to the sideline. So Grambling will continue this drive, but again, starting from the own 5 for a team with only 7 points. Scored the game's first touchdown, but the offense relatively quiet ever since.
Kalen Roach at the safety position for Southern has had a solid day.
Draw, Williams, and Southern's defense reacts. Flag down as well, back near the line of scrimmage.
Even when that defensive front for the Jaguars has allowed the ball to leak through, it hasn't gotten far. Really impressed by the pursuit of the front 7 for the Jaguars.
We do not have a foul for face mask on the play. 2nd down.
Sounds like they're going to pick up the flag, and I think it was an accurate call. Looked like in live action there was certainly face mask potential. We'll get a good look at it here. Yeah, it was the front of the jersey. So the horse collar tackle needs to be along the back of the jersey. And here, you saw right there on the replay, is really dragging him down by the front of the jersey. Hugh Jackson looking for an explanation. He doesn't have the advent of a replay to get a better look at it as we do.
They get all the angles quickly. 2nd down, 8 to go. Williams, hesitation move by the line of scrimmage, allows him to get outside. Brought down a couple of yards shy of the first. So Grambling will have a 3rd and short.
And this is where Grambling has had at times penalties that they've picked up at this point, or just sort of self-inflicted wounds. A 3rd and short scenario to move the chains here is certainly going to be big, but all these drives for Grambling that have been sustained, they haven't been able to keep the ball moving. They need bigger chunks.
See right there, the split so far in this game for the Tigers. Runs to the outside. Williams stretched out and won't pick up the first. Jordan Carter meets him first. That it is 4th down.
That is an exceptional run through from Jordan Carter. These safeties are reading the run on the fly, diagnosing it, and he'll appear in your screen laterally as the play extends sideways. The safety, number 7, just comes out of nowhere, flashes in, makes an exceptional play behind the line of scrimmage. That's where, because you don't really respect the deep ball in the game today, the safeties can now bite up more and more towards the line of scrimmage and make plays just like that.
A lot of this game determined on these and shorts. That long snap bounce to Isles. Had the eye discipline to stay with it, get the punt off, and get it out of bounds before getting to Whitfield. So that could have been a disaster deep in their own territory. Instead, it's a punt of 44. Abraham Gonzalez is the long snapper. And that one was a little short. How about that scoop?
Keep your head held high, just like Mama taught us. Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
How come you don't have none?
All I had was my sister. I know she's somewhere.
It's time for you to see the world.
Someday we're gonna meet again.
The color purple. Rated PG-13.
Having triplets is amazing.
Expensive.
So we switched to the bargain detergent, but we ended up using 3 times as much, and the clothes still weren't as clean as with Tide.
So we're back with Tide, and the clothes are clean again.
Do 3 times the laundry and get a Tide clean. It's got to be Tide.
What even is this? Don't touch my things, gross. Janice, when you bundle your home or renters with your auto, Progressive provides 24/7 protection for almost everything you own. But do you really need my weighted hoop? It's for my snatched waist. It's my dog chaise lounger. Foot treadmill. That's my Tuesday chalice. Purse that says purse. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber. I can't live without oxygen. Solid gold coffee machine. Lake making kit. Really? Can Progressive cover that too? Yes, but... Hi, it's Janice. I'll take 5. Is my voice on TV right now?
I was looking at my ancestry trace the other day. I figured it out, why I never actually made the football team.
Yeah, because you're 5'8".
Wait, Robbie, go look at the sprinter gene. I wonder if you have it or if that's why you didn't make the team.
Let me see. Let me pull it up. Don't have it.
Yep, I knew it.
What else does it tell you?
No, hold on. I'm going to find some athletic gene in here. Endurance? No.
All right.
Speed? Average. You know?
I would say below average.
Give the gift of family heritage with Ancestry.
Lamar Jackson has gone supernova. But a clash with the Chargers is on tap, and LA knows about star power. Ravens, Chargers, Sunday Night Football on NBC and Peacock.
You're watching the 50th annual Bayou Classic, presented by B&G. At the Caesars Superdome, let's go down to Lewis.
All right, thanks very much. I'm with Chief Communications Officer from Procter & Gamble, and it is so great to see you again. So just tell me about the continued commitment that P&G has to this game and really to the HBCU community.
Yeah, in addition to $750,000 of support for these fine institutions, it caps off a season of support for HBCUs. We've made stops at 11 HBCUs, scholarships, product samples, education, internships, really demonstrating support of our company and our brands for future generations of students in HBCUs. We're giving away an additional 75 scholarships of $2,500 each with the United Negro College Fund. So opportunity.uncf.org is a great opportunity for everyone around the nation to join in our support of these fine institutions.
Well, Damon, it's always great to see you here, and continued appreciation for the support from P&G, and with continued success for you throughout the year.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Chris?
Thanks. Always great to check in. After a 4-yard pickup through the air on first down and second down and 6, it's intercepted. The throw on the out is picked. Andrew Jones has a pick 6, matching the back of his jersey. 41 yards, and that's how Grambling State gets back in it.
Infusing a bit of life into the GSU fan base. The play that had to be made to keep them in this contest. They came into this game 5th in the Southwestern Athletic Conference in takeaways. It's their 4th defensive touchdown of the season. Terrence Graves, none too pleased.
Visibly upset with the interception from Bowden.
And you wonder if there was a miscommunication. We'll take a look at it after the kick. Get an unblocked oncoming rusher in the face of the QB.
So Grambling State needed something to change the flow of the game. They get it on defense. Our Rinkers extra point goes through 27-14.
Oh, the preseason, sorry, Chris, preseason SWAC Defensive Player of the Year is Sonny Anderson. He's right there. At the snap of the football, protection goes in that direction. It looked like for some reason the offensive tackle thought the QB would shade in that direction. He didn't. It gave a clear path to Anderson. And Andrew Jones, the Memphis transfer, able to take advantage of that. Picks it, puts it into the paint for the Tigers. When you wheel inside like that as an offensive tackle, it was almost like a QB draw sort of pass set that he took where he was hoping to ward the defender up the field. So he sort of invited Sundiata Anderson into the backfield. And by the reaction of Terrence Graves right there with his quarterback Noah Bowden, looks like maybe the young QB was the one who didn't have the mechanics down, the footwork that's necessary to make sure that the pocket isn't as clean as it ends up looking right there.
Always a teaching point. And one of the things that Terrence Graves mentioned to us, hey, sometimes he gets after his guys, you know, in a way you tear them down, but you always make sure you build them right up immediately after. So you imagine that's what's going on the southern sidelines as Noah Bowden will get ready to get back on the field. His team's still leading by 13.
He might build him up real quick before he goes back out on the field. That might have been more the emphatic moment, and perhaps just as he's going to step back onto the field, he may build it back up with a quick note of positivity.
So now just a 2-score game. Flag, and I believe that's going to be a delay of game.
All right, Grambling is the most penalized team in the SWAC, and it's shown up at critical times here.
Delay game on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
See that maybe once a year, a delay of game on a kickoff.
I mean, you're the team that's down by multiple scores here in the third quarter. There has got to be urgency with the procedure. And there's been a few times here so far in the game where it seems a bit lackadaisical from Grambling State.
And see it, they're the most penalized team in the FCS. Russell to return from the 10. Russell jumps over the pile, and there's a handful of flags. A lot of laundry on the deck.
Let me find my pocket soak. I'm going to throw mine out there, too. I think they ran out of flags to throw.
Saw something obvious. Solid return after the penalty on Grambling, the delay of game. Well, we'll check in on this flag. Preston Clipper is our referee.
I think we just missed the build him back up moment from Terrence Graves there. Pretty sure it just happened right
Personal
before.
Foul. Illegal blindside block on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
One of the things the officials have been, in recent years in college football, they've been wanting to get this out of the game because it ends up being dangerous. I believe it's George Quarles who ends up throwing this block here. As you see the kickoff coverage on the contain, and not only was it a blindside block, it was sort of a block in the back, but they want you, just like they would protect a defenseless receiver or ball carrier from contact above the head or neck area. That's where even on these blindside blocks, they're trying to get those out of the game for a safety perception.
So he's upset. 1st and 10 deep in their own territory is Rhymes with a 73-yard run in his first carry of the third quarter. Not as much success there, and it's second down.
So to get back into rhythm for Southern here is key. Their offensive line, their running back, finding some safe plays. And for Noah Bowden, continue to throw with anticipation.
Bowden coming off of the interception, 2 straight runs. That one results in a loss. That's 6 on 6. Andrew Jones stops Kendrick Rhymes for a loss of 5.
Jones showing himself as the player, leading this defense back into it here. He'll read it. Initially aligned on the edge. Then as the edge gets set by the defensive end, penetrating into the backfield. When you have all those bodies towards the line of scrimmage, your defensive backs can be on an island. But they read the run and react downhill. Now a 3rd and long for the Tigers defense.
So a pick 6 and a tackle for loss in the first 7.5 minutes of the third quarter for Andrew Jones.
Sundiata Anderson.
They run it towards him. Bowden has a rush on the backside, flings out of bounds. So Grambling's defense gets what they need, a 3 and out. And the punt team coming on for Southern.
And that punt team will be backed up with both a tight end and a running back and the pocket flowing in the direction of Sundiata Anderson. So they're continuing to keep the launch point on the move from a game plan perspective. You love to see that because it takes starch out of the opposing pass rush, but it does allow the defensive backs to sort of pin in only half the field. So the quarterback is reading half the field, but the coverage doesn't have to respect the other half of the field as well.
Anthony, one of the things that you and Lewis Johnson, two Bayou Classic vets, have told me is how things can change in this game in an instant. Beauplan pressured, but a whistle before the punt. His knee was down in the end zone, so he went down low to grab it. His knee hits the ground, and that's a safety. Talk about things changing. That's 2 points for Grambling.
We're referencing the special teams excellence of Terrence Graves' teams at multiple stops. His all-SWAC snapper and his all-SWAC punter not able to execute here, backed up. Braxton Blackwell, the long snapper. He was second team all-SWAC last season. Big expectations there preseason as well between himself and Beauplan. Not able to execute, backed up.
See that note, last 9 plays, -7 yards, a pick 6 and a safety.
Things continuing to turn in this ball game in the favor of Grambling State. We're referencing the emotions that have been associated with things for Southern over the last couple of weeks. Eric Dooley, frankly, surprisingly, getting relieved of his duties. Terrence Graves takes over. Terrence Graves told us that it was an emotional time for his team in the initial days following that. He allowed his team a few days to lick those wounds. Frankly, himself and his coaches, a few days to lick those wounds, and then they got back to work. It does feel like because of a lot of what's gone on around Southern football throughout this season, really respect the way that the team came out, fired up in the first half of this game, almost overwhelming Grambling State. Now that they're beyond that point, and the urgency, the confidence, the momentum in this game beginning to swing, how can the Jaguars respond?
You mentioned that about Eric Dooley, dismissed on November 14th. Team in Southern that was a preseason pick to win their division. But still, it was surprising when we both heard that they were letting him go. And Terrence Graves, the interim head coach for the Bayou Classic. Robinson returns this for Grambling. Brought down before the 30. Ball pops out late. The official, I thought I heard a whistle.
A whistle definitely blew. A whistle no doubt blew. But what is important for Southern is if it was viewed as an immediate recovery, that could be a part of the review process. But you're 100% right, Chris. There was an immediate whistle blowing the play dead.
Also a couple of Southern players still on the field. Let's take a look. Elbow down, clearly. So the whistle, well timed.
The ball was fumbled and recovered by Southern.
Okay, so the official, at least the announcement there is that they're ruling it a fumble and a recovery.
It's under further review.
So now this review will be even more critical than we would have anticipated, because I thought from the whistle, like you pointed out, that they were ruling the ball carrier down.
Of course, the officials are taught to let it play out if they can.
Right.
But again, we heard a whistle, but they still let it play out. It looks like it'll clearly be Grambling football when you return.
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, you can pick up the tab even when you forget your wallet.
I got this.
Fargo, send Kaz $145 to Zelle.
Smooth.
Want faster, easier banking? You can with Wells Fargo. What else can Fargo do?
Oh, come on.
Fargo lets you do this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card. I found it. I found my card.
And also this.
Fargo, turn on my debit card.
Do you, Fargo? You can with Wells Fargo.
Details make the holidays. Get $1,000 bonus cash on the Genesis GV70 or electrified GV70. Exclusively at your local Genesis retailers.
You know that feeling of having to rewash dishes that didn't get clean? I don't.
Cascade Platinum Plus with double the Dawn grease fighting power and double the scrubbing power for a no rewash clean and a cabinet ready shine. Upgrade to Cascade Platinum Plus. Dare to dish differently.
I don't know Jake from State Farm.
But just imagine my homes and my auto.
Best bundle in the league, baby. Man, why can't Patrick change his name? It could be Kelsey and Kelsey, how much you can save by bundling home and auto. Yeah? If you make the letters smaller.
Oh, auto, let's go. Come on, model, let's get it. Put your jersey on.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There's one name that can make a can't-miss event truly sensational. Tiger. A living legend, tees off against his friends and rivals the Hero World Challenge on NBC and Peacock.
The ruling on the field was a fumble on the return, but from our look, we heard a whistle, and then we also saw the replay and looked like the returner was down. We can take another look and, even more importantly, take a listen to see if we can hear that whistle. Yeah, right there, clearly the whistle. So that should be the end of the play. Immediate recovery was what you were talking about, Anthony, and it was crucial to have an immediate recovery even after the whistle in case that would be a fumble. But from our looks, it looked like Robinson was down before the ball came out. Here's the call.
After further review, the runner was down by contact. First down, Grambling.
So Grambling ball, a couple of housekeeping items too. Jordan Dupree, George Qualls, they were both down at the end of that play. And Dupree was assisted up first. Qualls a little bit later, but he did get to the sideline for Southern. So it allows Miles Crawley back on the field. The game flow going more towards Grambling side. You can see the medical tent for George Qualls. But Grambling gets the interception return for a touchdown. Then the benefit of a safety with Beauplans. Knee on the ground for Southern, the punter. Knee on the ground in the end zone thanks to the low snap. So can Grambling take advantage and get even closer? Down by 11. Crawley roll out. Jumps and fires. Incomplete. Tylen Williams was the go-to guy.
Just as I've sung the praises of Willie Totten getting his young quarterback on the move, Miles Crawley more experienced than Noah Bodden, but I think the same thing applies. I would like to see Tony Hall call him into more movement, get the launch point on the go. When you have a quarterback who's mobile enough, the launch point doesn't need to be as stationary as it's been in the game so far for Grambling State.
Of course, Crawley, not only instructions from his staff, he's somebody who has attended the Manning Passing Academy. That is Qualls, not a good sight there on the cart. Hope for the best for him. Crawley, slant. Jones, first down Grambling. Past the 40-yard line, pick up a 14.
And this is where the tight coverage, and especially by Kristen Davis, he's been exceptional in these regards, but the timing and accuracy was so effective there, it led to that completion.
On first, Crawley steps up in the pocket, but it's not enough. It's a sack and a loss of 2.
Exceptional spin move by Kelby Givens. They haven't been able to block him throughout the game so far today, regardless of where he's been lined up at. You've seen it snap after snap. And again, this stationary launch point sets up Givens to know that he can get away with this spin move, and the quarterback's going to be there waiting on him. Just able to baptize the offensive tackle with great leverage, versatility.
I had Dwight Freeney visions with that spin move. That was crazy. Play action and a dart to the near side. Up by midfield, Tylen Williams is opposite number 17, Christian Davis covering. It's a gain of 9, setting up a 3rd and short.
I would say from here, this is going to be worthy of considering 4-down territory, but certainly the play call, and you would imagine that Hugh Jackson communicating with his offensive coordinator, Tony Hull, about whether or not this 3rd down play call will have the potential for a 4th down afterwards. It can impact the way you call this play.
Keelan Elder is the running back on this 3rd down. Have Southern's linebackers, Anthony, really close to the line of scrimmage. Play clock at 5. Get it off. Bump fake. Crawley slides, then gets hit. I don't see any flags. And he was in the backfield when he started the slide, so it's a loss on the play, and the punt team coming on. Jalen Campbell will get credit for a sack.
Keelan Elder, like you referenced, he was brought into the game because he's the best pass-protecting running back. They wanted to sneak him out of the backfield, but because of the initial collision that was there with the edge defender, he couldn't get out cleanly. Crawley was decisive in wanting to take off and run, but Jalen Campbell was right there to make sure he couldn't pick up the first down with his legs.
Jalen Campbell from Mississippi, last year's Bayou Classic, had 2 sacks, gets one there. Isles' punt, Whitfield's return, lets it roll, then goes after it with a one-handed catch off a bounce. It scoots out of bounds at the 5. Now, he saved any potential Grambling downing it inside the 5-yard line, but it was risky to touch it at the 5, so the give and take there.
From a field position perspective, this is exactly what Hugh Jackson is hoping for. Just beyond midfield, you consider going for that 4th down. They didn't, but now the opponent will be pinned just outside their 5-yard line, and a defense that's been starting to get a bead on how Southern's operating offensively.
Should he have let that one go?
It's always so iffy as a return specialist, especially there. The line of demarcation has moved back from the 10 to the 5, where you're willing to field that. He potentially, to your point, saved a few yards, but it looked like the momentum may have carried that into the end zone.
Deep in their own territory to start. Pete, sideline wheel route, turns on the jet, slipped down before he really got going by Chris Dagry. He can't believe it. He didn't see Dagry. He thought he had more room.
I mean, that pass from Noah Bowden, under the type of duress that he was from Andrew Jones, he cuts the football loose before Pete has even gotten out of his break, and that trust and anticipation for a quarterback in his first Bayou Classic start is really impressive.
17-yard gain. In-breaking route to Darren Morris. Dagry again on the stop. So he threw the pick 6. Bowden, young quarterback, first Bayou Classic. Could go one of 2 ways. Could unravel from there, or you can regather and recover. And so far, he's looked sharp since the interception.
You certainly see the physical gifts there. Being able to throw off platform, keep velocity while he's fading away.
Give to Rhymes. Sneaks through. Needed a 34 for the first down. He has it. Gains 7.
And this is the best that Noah Bowden has played throughout the season. He's had a few sporadic moments of action, especially as the season wore on. And Harold Blood, the previous starter for this program throughout the bulk of the season, there were just so many fits and starts with the Southern offense throughout the year.
And Rhymes is closing in on 100 yards on the ground, thanks in large part to a 73-yard carry. Likely he'll get on over 100 on this drive if he gets a couple of more carries. Lewis Matthews sends him down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 4.
This GSU defense, especially on the defensive front, there's a lot more movement now at the point of attack than there was early in the game. And they're a little bit indecisive because of the way that they've been able to penetrate into the backfield and impact Noah Bowden, but because of the anticipation he's throwing with, it's not leading to sacks very consistently.
Under 2 minutes left, third quarter, 50th Bayou Classic. Rhymes stuffed. Pens on the spot, they'll say no gain. Jacoby Scott with the tackle, 3rd down, and it feels like an important one for Grambling's defense.
This is where Cedric Thornton will likely have his linebacker, Lewis Matthews, on the move. They like to go man coverage on these 3rd down scenarios for GSU and then just decide whether or not they add that man right there into the rush package.
Circled Matthews, 3rd down rollout. Bowden again moving the pocket. Rifles behind the receiver, incomplete. Chandler Whitfield, he would have had the first down. Pass had a little bit too much on it, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chris. I mean, and it's a little bit difficult, but we've seen Noah Bowden execute this scenario pretty well throughout the game so far. He's got to take a few RPMs off of the pass and make sure it's more catchable, especially where your receiver is near the sideline and has to adjust to the ball.
Whitfield shakes his head. Johnson's the returner. Bo plans punt. This time his knees, making sure that they weren't anywhere near the turf. Johnson to the near side. Belted around the 25. Let's take a look at the All-State quarterback comparison. The youngster Noah Bowden, Miles Crawley, a little bit more experience.
These are guys who, it would seem, you never know for sure in the transfer portal era, but we're going to see multiple Bayou Classics of these young men facing off for these two programs. They've each had their moments throughout the day today. More chunk plays picked up in the passing game for Noah Bowden and Southern.
For Bowden and Crawley, they both are transfers anyway to the spots that there are right now. Bowden, of course, began at Grambling. And Miles Crawley, who's getting ready to work right now from Alabama State. From the 32.
Sorry, Chris, the vertical pass.
Roll out. Didn't have many receivers deep down the field there either. So, Anthony, you're looking for Grambling to take some shots here.
We just haven't seen it so far in the game here. It's not a huge part of their offense on a regular basis, but the potential is there, and it's just been so condensed with the way their passing attack has operated in this game. You would think some of the success they've had on the ground, you can set up some play action. The man coverage that Southern plays, set up a double move to at least try some shot plays.
The biggest play through the air was a screen deep in their own territory. Here's a screen again. Robinson stays on his feet, and a flag comes flying in from the official in the secondary. So we'll check the penalty. And Grambling, the most penalized team in the FCS.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 7. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
But it's on Southern. Jordan Carter, face mask on the stop.
Carter's had a big day in coming up in run support and tackling on these screen passes there as he's just reaching out. He had a blocker coming at him. He's trying to make sure he can apply force into the block while still trying to make the tackle. Picked up the flag.
So with the assistance of the penalty, ball spotted around the 42 with Grambling State down 2 scores, 11 points. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal if you can swing it that way. They don't need to snap it before the end of the third, but they will. Crawley throws to the flat for Williams. Tries to turn the corner, doesn't have much space. That's the final play of the third.
That will be the end of the
with
third
Southern
quarter.
leading 27-16. Grambling State had some positive moments, though, in the third. Trying to get back in it at the Caesars Superdome and even the Bayou Classic history. Right now, 25-24 Southern.
James. James has his own style, and he knows what he likes. So when it was time to choose a Medicare Advantage plan, he went with a company he knows offers individualized coverage, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama.
I feel good about Blue Cross. People have counted on them for as long as I can remember. My local advisor helped me enroll.
With our Medicare Advantage plans, you can get $0 plan premium, $0 prescription drug deductible, over-the-counter benefits, dental, vision, and hearing, rewards and wellness program, in-home support, and more. Everybody in town knows Shirley.